Welcome to Soul Sync.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Guess where we
We're on the motherfucking couch. If you can't see it, if you're on Spotify, it's okay. We are looking red and rough. But we just had like an amazing chill, like tanning pool sesh outside. Just like, I don't know, it was relaxation vibes, vacation vibes, and now it's sleepy girl vibes.
Yeah.
So that's what you're getting from us today, people.
And we're so excited because we literally were like, how cool would it be if we just like sit down, have a conversation about the things we've been talking about with you guys? And like, fuck it, we're all about being authentic, raw. So even if we're just chilling on the couch, like, fuck it, we're going to show you guys because this is who we are, you know? And I think it's really important to always have that kind of authenticity. So we're feeling so many different emotions, but definitely like having so much fun being together in the same state. We only get to see each other maybe like 2 or 3 times a year. So I'm so grateful that like Taylor has come to visit me not once, but twice. And we're so tired because we've been like so go doing all of the things. So while we've been doing that, we've been having a lot of realizations, doing a lot of rituals, and we really just kind of wanted to come on here and talk to you guys, just be like, hey, like, this is what living in the life of Taylor and Sami is like. And it could just be super chill, like you hanging out on the fucking couch talking to your best friend. Like that could be amazing too.
Yeah, or doing vision boards together at night, or going to the pool, or doing hot girl walks, or doing like recording podcasts with Michaela motherfucking J.
My God.
I still can't get over that.
I cannot get over that either. So we basically just broke down like what we've been doing the past couple of days, but you guys are going to get that episode out before this one. So the can of worms is already out, but we had Michaela on our podcast yesterday, and oh my God, were we like geeking out? It was
Still are.
honestly.
Like,
It was the best experience ever. And like we love talking about spiritual stuff. And Taylor and I, when we started our awakening, we were also listening to Michaela's podcast at the time. So she taught us so much of what we know about spirituality. So getting to talk to her and ask her questions was just so much fun. What was your biggest takeaway, do you feel like, Taylor?
Oof. That's a toughie, actually. Dude, the whole fucking thing. I don't know if I could pinpoint like one thing. Did you take anything specific?
Well, you already know I had the same thing happen to me. Like, you guys are kind of being along the journey when it comes to me moving to Texas type thing, which it's fucking official. Like, lease is signed. We are moving. We have a move date. Super excited. So that was something we kind of talked about. And I felt like as Michaela was like answering her questions and like talking on her tangents, it was as if she was talking directly to me. I was sitting there forgetting to respond because it was like, oh my God, I'm literally thinking about and digesting everything you're saying into my perspective and into what I'm doing these next couple of weeks. And I just felt like I left with so much clarity, but also just so much like, holy shit, my mind is spinning from just all the wisdom and just all the little pieces that like clicked together while talking to her. I was like, was this a one-on-one or were we recording you? I'm confused.
Dude, literally. That is exactly what it felt like.
And with all of those updates, I felt like one of the reasons Taylor and I wanted to come on here today was because we were going to talk about like how to be that person when you're going through a hard time for somebody. Because the first night Taylor was here, I was feeling super overwhelmed about the move. I was feeling super overwhelmed about summer and just all these different things that I'm working on. And allowing to basically fall apart, it feels like, to come back together. And I'm hysterically sobbing, like finally allowing myself to like feel the feelings, release the fear. I feel safe with Taylor. She's my best friend. So she always just knows how to like hit me, but in a good way. And she had this speech as I'm crying that just hit so hard. And we wanted to come on here and just talk about how that felt and how you can like be that type of relationship for somebody else, because Taylor is that for me. And I really hope in those moments I'm that for her. And I feel like with Michaela's podcast and everything that we were like talking about, It all comes back to that one thing, which is just like one, trust within yourself, but also like the support and community of others is something we've been
Mhm.
talking about so much the past couple days.
Yeah, oh my God, community, like, you don't realize how important it is until you're
Mhm.
in, like, a moment like that, and it's kinda like they become your crutch during that time, and someone that you can just, like, totally lean on and know
Mhm.
that you can go to for any advice or just to, like, listen and hear you out, and I feel like that's been really beneficial too of just being an ear, like,
Yeah.
just being there and being like, "Listen, whatever you need from me right now, like, just let me know, like, I can be that for you." And just holding space and giving them time and allowing them to feel their feelings around you. Like I said
Mhm.
to Sammy, I was like, I don't want you to wear a mask around me ever. Like I don't want you to have to like feel like you have to perform or feel like you have to put up a front like when I'm visiting or anything like that because like people tend to do that a lot just like as hosts, and like,
Mhm.
I'm visiting from another state and it's like you want everything to be like just right and have an itinerary and that's so normal, like, I feel like everyone, like, automatically like, I do that too, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, we wanna please our guests. But for, like, a best friend like that, it's just always been important to me, at least, to be like, "Just show up as you, and,
Mhm.
like, we'll do your routine." Like, I wanna feel out your routine, like, what you do, like, don't let me come in here and, like, disrupt the system in any
Mhm.
way, like, especially for a time right now when things are kind of all over the place, it's like, I wanna come here and I wanna be that anchor for you. I don't want to add to it, like add to whatever's going on. So I think that's just like really important to kind of like sit down and think about your role
Mhm.
in a time like this, like when your friend is going through something and it's like also you have to know them in a way of how they respond to things. And I know Sammy is very much like, well,
It's like, shit, what's gonna come out of her mouth?
no, nothing bad. It's just like I know Sammy super well and she knows me super well. We know our moods and we know everything like that. So I think it's really important to honor Sammy's emotional side.
Aw.
And it's really nice to just be able to like sit back and be like, girl, feel your feelings. Like
Mhm.
let it out. Like I'm never gonna be one to be like, suck it up. Like it's like know your best friend,
Mhm.
like know who you're talking to. So I think that's really important, and, like, if you wanna be a good friend and you wanna be there for them, and if it's just as important to you for them to feel good as it is for them, like, there's so much you can do
Mhm.
to lift them up, so I'm just really happy that that speech, like, spoke to you in a way too because I was something was channeling through me. It was just spitting out. You know when you just start talking and it just starts turning into,
Yes.
like, a preach, like, a
Mhm.
someone just preaching at you? So I hope it was everything that you needed to hear, and I hope it was gentle enough,
Mhm.
and yeah.
It really was because one thing that Taylor said that like really stuck with me is she was like, Sammy, this is the manifestation. Like the thing that you've been working towards for so many months. It's here. It's happening. Like you have received it. But as I was telling her, there were just like certain characteristics about what's happening right now that weren't aligning. And I was like, this isn't how I thought that I was going to feel. Like I thought I was going to feel super excited and expansive and that, everything was going to work out in its rows that it will. But the universe just doesn't really work like that sometimes. And sometimes you need to go through a couple of obstacles in order for, like I said, it to come back together. And that's exactly what I'm going through right now. So I feel like just having that space of one, knowing that this is what I wanted, and it's okay sometimes to feel like, "Oh shit, this wasn't exactly what I wanted," right? You gotta be a little bit more crystal clear, and I'm in the space right now where it's like, "Okay, I can be crystal clear, and I'm gonna get exactly what I want." But oftentimes, and this is what Taylor said, she was like, "It seems like your life is falling apart or the manifestation is falling apart before it comes in." Like, I'm right there, right here. And I keep telling myself, like, I know that this is for a bigger purpose. I know that it's going to get better. I know that I'm going to overcome it. But I'm not gonna lie, when I made my vision board before Taylor and I made ours, right, like literally yesterday, right now, for the rest of the year, this was not how I saw my situation going. This was not how I saw my life. Like, there were just so many elements that kind of like came up out of the blue for me to be like, okay, how am I going to react to this? And I feel like that's really what life is teaching me right now is one about reactions, two about patience, and three of just I can hold multiple different emotions at once. And I think with Taylor, I can show all of them. Whereas when I was in Austin, it was so difficult for me because I wasn't feeling the way that I thought I was going to feel. However, like I also was still feeling happy and feeling excited. And I loved being with my friends there. And I was so proud of Nala for doing amazing on the plane. But I also was feeling sadness and grief and fear and worry and all these different emotions. And it was really for me about finding a way to just feel all of them and like Taylor said, honor all of them because for a couple of weeks I was like, well, I'm just going to feel the good emotions and I'm just going to feel the bad emotions whenever they really need to come out. And then when I went to Austin, it was like I couldn't even control it. Like I would just start crying and be like, I'm feeling this way because I was trying to hold it in for so long that it was like I wasn't even really honoring myself in that way. I love how it came up with a thumbs up here on Zoom. I guess I'm learning my lesson.
Yeah.
But
That.
so I finally allowed myself to just feel all of them and that's what I've been doing. And as you go through something like a move, you're going through all your furniture. Personally, I'm selling everything and I'm starting brand new. So there's so many ties, there's so many attachments, so many connections to like my things, my clothes, Tom's things, Tom's clothes, the pets things, and we're leaving everything we've ever known for a whole fresh start. And it's just like, holy shit, there's so many emotions, you know?
Yeah. I think as like a supporter and like a best friend, also, it's kind of your role to remind them why they're doing it in the first place.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's so much power to that, to just being like, don't forget, like, remember the bigger picture, like,
Mhm.
just kind of pulling you out of that like little mind storm that goes on and just being like, but don't forget, like, what this is for. And this is your manifestation. And for as long as I've known you, like, I just remember Texas being that final destination for you. And it's like, keep your eye on the prize, you
Mhm.
know? So sometimes it's like you need that person to just like reel you back in to what your goals were and what your manifestations were in the first place. So I think that's huge when it comes to someone just being there for you, is
Mhm.
just constantly reminding you, like, you're okay. Like, your feelings are valid. Like, breathe. We'll get through it together. There's a light at the end of the tunnel,
Mhm.
and everything happens for a reason. And it's like there can be a lot of fear involved, um, but you have to kind of counterbalance that with faith, because there's
Yeah.
a quote that's like, both of them are unseen energies, and it's like you can only choose one to lean towards, fear or faith.
Mm.
So I feel like when you really lean towards your faith in this and just being like, the universe has me,
Mhm.
you know, and maybe they're sending me these people and sending me these messages through these people for a specific reason too, to just be like, keep going, like one step in front of the other. If you have to take bite-sized pieces, if you have to take one step at a time, like, do it, because the direction is so much more important than the speed,
Yeah.
and you will get there. And it's just about like trying to keep your cool, you know,
Mhm.
and trying to not get overwhelmed during times like this and stressful times, and actually allowing yourself to lean on the people close to you. Because I know some people like will feel like a burden, or feel like I'm not being a good enough host or whatever. And it's like, girl, no, that's exactly my role. Like, that's what I want my role to be. It's just someone that you can literally feel at ease around, and just know that, like, no matter what, like, I'm here for you. Like, we can adapt to any situation. Like,
Mhm.
so
I love you, girl. Oh my god. Obviously, she's talking about me.
yeah.
This has been so difficult for me, especially in that way. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys can relate, but having to lean on people full force is very difficult because I'm just such a, independent energy where I'm like, I could do this, I could do this. And I would have wanted instead of what happened where it's like, okay, I literally came home and then Taylor came and it's like I have to do all of these things for the apartment. I feel really unshaken. Like there's a lot of emotions and a lot of changes going on. I would have wanted to be that perfect host that is like cooking her breakfast and lunch and dinner and like, having all of the house set up because I literally was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I need to clean a little bit when she first got here. And I think that's kind of like society standards too, of like, okay, when you have guests or when you have someone over, the house needs to look perfect. It needs to smell good. You need to have your laundry done. Like all of these things need to be done. Whereas I was cleaning the day of. So I was like, sorry, can you help me put on the sheets on the bed?
Yeah, girl, like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it is such a societal thing. It's like, why is that
Mhm.
like the end of the world? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not.
But I appreciate you because I feel like, I will feel like, oh shit, I'm not showing up enough, or even having to like rely on somebody so much. It's like I do feel like a burden because I'm like, oh, like I don't want to put my energy or whatever I'm working through onto somebody else, But honestly, it really has been your support, Maddie's support, like Tara, Rachel, all my really good, amazing friends. I could just keep going if I named them all, but like I'm so grateful for that support, and I'm also just like so grateful for the faith because I feel like honestly faith has been the only thing getting me through. Anytime something comes up, Taylor and I this entire trip have just been rewiring my brain of like if something negative comes up of like I'm scared of this, she literally said, well, what if instead of counting down those days, you count down the days until you're in Texas and you have everything that you wanted and all of it came together into a piece? And another thumbs up emoji. I fucking love it. But it all came up together into that, beautiful puzzle where you get to see the picture. She goes, what if you count down the days till then? Whereas I was counting down the days of like the loss. So that mindset alone, like that shift, was a game changer for me. And I wouldn't have thought of it because I'm in the muck of it. I'm in the little like lotus, like, oh my God, I'm coming out of the mud right now, going through a major transformation. But she's outside of me and she's able to see with such a clearer head. And like she said, reel me back to, hey, this is why you're doing this and it's going to get better soon. It's coming together, but you just need to keep trusting the process. And that's the only thing getting me through is like, trust the process, trust the process. It is going to work out for me. And like she says, it's just as easy to think about those things as it is to think about the fears.
That, oh my God.
Mhm.
You're so right. And that is like another role for a supporter and a best friend too, is like I kind of think of it as like a maze almost. So
Mhm.
like if your significant other or your best friend or your family member or someone is in the muck of it during the time, it's like they're in the maze itself.
Mhm.
And they're hitting dead ends and they're kind of panicking a little and they're like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do, like whatever. But like from an outsider's perspective and just being like, I guess not fully, your brain isn't thinking about the things that they're thinking about. They're not like whatever. You're kind of like seeing an aerial view of the maze,
Mhm.
so you can see like the turns. You can see that there's a way out. You can see how close they are to that finish line, even when they think that they're in like the worst possible spot,
Mhm.
especially with manifestations. It's like you want it to be so fast and such an easy process sometimes. And the reality of it is, the bigger the manifestation, I feel like sometimes the harder the obstacles are to get there.
Yeah.
And to really be able to see, like, girl, you're so fucking close. Like, you're doing so well. And I've seen how far you've come in the maze. And I've seen how, so it's like just reminding them that too and giving them that like positive reinforcement of like, girl, you cut it.
Mhm.
Like, this is everything you wanted. Don't forget, like chin up. You're gonna be walking. Yeah, you're gonna be walking like head high through the rest of that maze, knowing that like whatever fucking turn I have to make, I don't give
Mhm.
a fuck because I'm making it to the end of this shit. I don't know why the word like didn't come out. Just shit.
Because that's how it feels right now. It's like we're like the caterpillar. We were doing a meditation, and it was like, so you're the caterpillar, and you're just going through. You're going through, and thank God at the end, she goes, so the card says you're a caterpillar, but I say that you're a butterfly, and I was like, okay, I'm the butterfly. Like,
Yes. Oh my
fuck,
god.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Mhm.
But I think it's just so funny how like when you're in the manifestation and you're getting so close, that's when you start questioning everything. So I think the support of what Taylor is talking about is just so important, because bringing it back to the why is like, okay, why is this important to you? What do you want to feel? And when we talk about those things, I feel a lot more grounded. I feel a lot more clear. But
Mhm.
not gonna lie, my first day in Austin, I scared all of my friends there because I was like, I don't know if this is actually this place for me. I don't know if I want to move here anymore. And that was an epic, like game changer, because I've
Mhm.
been planning that manifestation since I don't even know, November, whenever we decided we didn't love Charleston. I was like, I want to move to Austin, Texas. So for those first 2 days of me to really be questioning whether or not I even wanted to move to the city, I was starting to spiral. And I think the one thing that kept me going was that reminder of why I wanted to do it in the first place and what I felt was gonna change in my life because of it. We've done a lot of podcasts about intuition, but my intuition is calling me there. There is something there for me. And I personally think it's a really big community. I have a lot of friends there. There's a lot of yoga, there's a lot of spiritual fitness is everything there, which you guys know I'm so into. And just, I really want more of a support system and more of like a family around those things that I get to create and I get to build. And a part of me was just super sad because I ended up loving South Carolina as I'm leaving. So it's like, damn, like now I feel like I'm grieving my old life too, because I did really, really love it here. And there's going to be things that I missed about it. And I kind of was beating myself up too those first 2 days in Austin, because I was like, I wish I would have appreciated Charleston more while I had it. Like, if I knew that I would have been taking the stepping stone and I would have gone from Connecticut to Charleston straight to Austin, I probably would have enjoyed my time here a lot more. So it's funny how all of these things come up and you just need someone to validate you sometimes. I think that's really important too. Like, you just need those words of affirmation. And that's my love language. So Taylor always says the right things and it hits so hard because that's how I understand it best, is with that affirmation.
Totally. Dude, I think it's really important, like the lesson you learned
Mhm.
from this whole thing too. Like you said, like if I would have known it would have been like this, like in Charleston, and then it would have led me, like I would have enjoyed my time more here. So maybe like take that lesson and run with it and just incorporate that with this move,
Mhm.
and just like savoring where you are and just being present and just like loving your environment. Obviously, you're going to like regardless because this is the place for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always just lessons to be learned, there's
Mhm.
can't be any regrets with that. Like this was a stepping stone. You needed to come here
Mhm.
before you can go there. Maybe there was a lot that you needed to learn in Charleston first.
Mhm.
And just like relationships, like you can't skip over any exes. Even though we want to delete some of them, it's like what we took from those relationships, even if they were toxic, I wouldn't trade for the world. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So I feel like places are very similar and friendships are very similar. And it's like everything is either a blessing or a lesson.
Mhm.
There's no mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited for you for your new chapter.
I'm excited too. And I'm just grateful because having someone that you can just talk about these things with, I don't know too many people that think the way that I do or like interpret things the way that I do. Whereas I'm about to move to my dream location. I got the dream apartment I wanted. Like, it has every single thing. It has a fireplace, 3 pools, a tennis court, a volleyball court, dog park. Like, I could go on and on about this apartment. But I'm reevaluating, like, what could I have done better in my time with Charleston? Where could I have shown up for myself better? What do I want to change so that I can be my best self in Austin? Like, I'm always thinking about those things. And I feel like a lot of people don't have people to talk to about that, Like,
Mhm.
either you go to them and you're trying to tell them about the things that you want to improve, or you're having these realizations and they put you down for it, or maybe they counter your pain by being like, "Oh, well, I'm going through this, so you shouldn't have to worry about it." And
Mhm.
they kind of like put you down, or they don't even think about it at all, and they're like, "Girl, why are you worried about it? Like, you lived in Charleston, like, you had the best life," and they don't even understand why you would want to be reevaluating in the first place because they don't do self-development. So, I just feel like having a friendship where I could think about all these things and I can talk about all these things. I could talk about my pains, my fears, where I wanna improve. I could talk about my major manifestations. I could talk about how much fun I had on the trip as well, and she understands all of it. Like, I don't have to be just one thing. I can be really complex, I could be really raw and really authentic, and she just honestly makes me feel so loved and accepted, and that helps me with my quest this year of just being one person. And I think having more people like Taylor in your life of whoever makes you feel like you could just be one person. You can just be you and they're going to love and accept you no matter what. Keep them fucking close and try to manifest more people like that. Like when I was doing my vision board last night, I was like, I'm going to be meeting so many new people in Austin. I want them to be like Taylor. Like I literally write down on the back of the paper, please, soul sisters like Taylor, you
That is
know?
the biggest compliment ever. Oh my god. I fucking love that. She even said that about like clients
Mhm.
too. She was like, "Well, I'm trying to attract clients exactly like you."
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And I was like, "Thank you." I was
100%.
like, "Oh."
So guess what I did? Because you can always be taking action even when you're going through a hard time. I
Mhm.
completely got her set up in my app. She's done multiple like 6-week challenges, 14-day challenges, but she's really wanted to go all in. And I was like, girl, you're my best friend. You are the epitome of what I'm manifesting for clients. So having you in my system, watching you do your workouts, just giving you a free program just because you're my best friend and I love you, like that is also a manifestation for me because my brain's going to see that every single day and I'm going to think, oh, Taylor's fucking crushing her booty day. I want more girls like Taylor. Taylor's doing her check-in. I know she's always working on herself. I want more girls like that. She's showing up for work all the time. She's showing up for her relationships. I think it's really important when it comes to clients and like living a healthy lifestyle to live a healthy lifestyle overall.
Mhm.
That means your fitness, of course, your nutrition, of course, but it also means your mindset. It means how you show up for yourself. It means your relationships, how you show up for others, your home life. So, all of those things are very important for me. And I look for people who want to up level all of the areas in your life. Because, like Michaela says, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So, thank you. I'm so happy that like it makes you feel so honored because you're doing the same for me. Like you're helping me just as much.
Fucking love that. See, this is what like this is like the friendship I always wanted too. You know
Me
what I
too.
mean? Like just so healthy. Like we're on the same page with everything. And even if
Mhm.
we're not, it's never anything big, like
No.
ever, like nothing to worry about. And there's nothing we can't get through or talk through.
Mhm.
And it's just like such a breath of fresh air. And you really set the bar high. So like friends after this, you better like step it up because yeah, I'm taking applications,
You're so funny.
but that community, we only want the best.
Be careful, Taylor. You might be getting hundreds of DMs. Like, I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. Oh, oh, I want to be your friend.
I love that. I would totally.
Can you imagine? I mean, Taylor and I were just talking about because one of the things we just mentioned is talking about our big manifestations. We were
Mhm.
talking about the podcast and we were like, oh my God, we have 18 episodes out. We just started, what, like 4 months ago, you
Yeah.
know? So we're thinking about the future and we were like, oh, like we can do a series on this. We can create modules from this. Like all these futuristic plans after both of our like dust kind of settle after all the
Mhm.
change we've experienced earlier this year. And it's so fun. Like you notice that through just conversation, sparks of creativity are going to come. So having that safe space to just allow that light and allow source to come through is so important. And I feel
Mhm.
like if you're not around people you feel that way with, you just don't experience it to that extent,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. It's like
totally.
I'm not able to just blurt out this genius idea that she thinks is genius because maybe with somebody else it's like, oh, well, maybe they won't think it's a good idea. Maybe they won't like that. Maybe I'll sound dumb. And we worry, at least I worry a lot about judgment because that was a big thing I need and still work on overcoming from like middle school and high school and all the ways I used to felt that I really went into on the solo podcast, So it's like having that safe space is everything. It changes just how you show up and how your energy is. And it also just changes the relationship overall.
Oh my God, I could not agree more. And you really like, they say like become what you want to attract.
Yeah.
In a friendship, especially, or a relationship, and I feel like that's totally applied here too. Like, I always wanted a friendship that was just super like understanding and like gentle and like super supportive and just there whenever you needed them. And you become that and then you attract that to yourself so much easier. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. And look into it for yourself, like if you want to attract a friendship like that or a specific, other type of friendship, just start by evaluating yourself and being like, well, how am I showing up in the world? What kind of energy am I giving out to people? And what type of energy do I want to receive back?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a perfect first step. And also, like, there are a lot of them out there. You just have to look and then just have faith that they'll come to you also. So I don't know, dude. But we definitely want to have a community ourselves of like soul sync girls.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I can picture it now. It's literally going to be so amazing. Just like-minded souls that are just coming together and we're just figuring out life, okay? But we're supporting each other, girls supporting girls. Well, there'll be guys in there too, right?
Yeah. You guys are always welcome. Don't mind us. Literally, I call Tom girl sometimes by accident. I'm like, hey girl, and he's like, hi babe. Like, so don't take it personally. But you all are welcome. But I see the community too, dude. Like, we're gonna have a ton of spiritual besties or spiritual bitches. Which one? Huh? You guys are gonna have to let us know.
You know which one I would choose. It just rolls off the tongue. I don't know why.
It really does. When we first started thinking about the podcast names, that was one of the names. It was spiritual bitches.
Hey, you never know. We could do a switch up on you one day. Like you go to type it in, you're like, wait a second. Soul sync.
Where
spiritual bitches. Love that for us.
And this is another thing. I feel like having someone that just makes you laugh. Like, I have always loved my relationship with Taylor because she just makes me laugh, like in the best way. I could be crying and she will make me laugh somehow. Like, no joke, And it's important because I feel like, especially when it comes to like science, and I think they've done some studies on this, when you laugh, you're happier. Like, you feel healthier, your cells are working better. So even if you can see that light at the end of the tunnel and it's like a little giggle, do it. Like, allow yourself to feel it or find somebody that's gonna make you laugh. Or if you don't have anyone that you're like, oh, you know what, I can really think of this person, you can even like put on YouTube, like look up funny animal videos or watch a funny TV show. Like, no joke, Taylor and I have brought up New Girl so many times this weekend. It's not even funny. And neither one of us are watching it right now, which is so funny. But we're quoting Nick, we're quoting Jess, we are talking about New Girl left and right. And it's honestly because, at least for me, it's my feel-good movie. Like, whenever I want to laugh, I go and watch New Girl because it's just hilarious.
It's the best show ever. Literally, I put it on to everyone. And Sammy was the one that put it on to me.
Ooh.
You remember that in Connecticut? Yeah, it was in Connecticut.
I think Tom put it on to me. He's the one that showed me about New Girl. Yeah.
Okay, Tom, I see you.
Oh my God, he put me on to like all of my movies. He put me on to Moana, to Kung Fu Panda, all my feel-good movies now where I'm like, I feel shitty, I need to watch something.
Yo,
Tom told me about.
Wait, he put me on to Midnight Gospel too. And that shit's awesome. Damn, Tom has great recommendations.
Shout out to you.
We're gonna do a Tom episode of all his recommendations.
Fuck yeah. I call him my encyclopedia because he just knows all this random stuff. Like, he'll come up to me and be like, did you know? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, No, I didn't, but I do now. Thanks.
Get someone you could grow with and learn from.
Oh,
There you
facts.
go.
And you know what? These are really good examples for our friendship too. Cause like I feel like, especially with Tom and I, like we were friends first. So that's where we started. That's how our foundation was built. And you know, even if some of these things that we talk about today, that could apply to your relationship as well, you know, just kind of like tying that together since we went on a
Yeah.
separate tangent.
We love a good tangent.
Fuck yeah. But you know, you can have those types of characteristics of like, oh, maybe like I really love this person because they recommend the best books or the best shows. Or I know for me, if I can say anything, I recommend the best meditations. Okay.
Yes.
I'm always texting Taylor, like, I just did this. You
Mhm.
need to try it right now.
And they're, oh my God, they're always fire. They hit.
Stop what you're doing. Go meditate.
Yeah, and I always refer back to them and I'll send them to other people and be like, this meditation I can't take credit for, but I will. Like, try it.
Nah, sharing is caring. It's okay.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
girl, they're always hitting.
Yeah, so just having like someone that you can talk about all this stuff with. Like I feel like that's another thing with Taylor and I, like we have multiple interests, you know? And like we can talk about anything and everything together, and even if like when she's talking about the different muscle groups and I don't know specifically like what the whatever you were talking about this morning is a very small muscle, like I know the big muscle groups. Like I'm gonna call myself out there since I am technically a coach.
Totally.
Fuck, I don't know, like all 300 of them. Like I don't even know if that's the right number to be honest, but I didn't need to memorize that for my job description.
No,
So
not at all.
thankfully we're Gucci. But the whole point is that I can listen to her and still be super fucking interested, even if I don't know what she's talking about yet. And I learn a lot from her because I learned 100% like where this muscle group was, what it did for her, why it has more prone for back pain. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, keep teaching me. I want to know more, you know? So it's like just having that person that you can just have so many different layers.
I love that. And oh my God, I also, when you're not sure, like, if Illinois ends with an S, if it's silent or not, I'm your girl.
You're so funny.
I don't know why that cracked me up. I was like, is this bitch saying Illinois? Listen, sometimes that's what a friend is good for too. Like they gotta call you out sometimes. So, you know,
Yeah, so
if
you
you don't
don't
embarrass
fuck
yourself.
up.
Yeah. But it's out of love. You know, like if we were on like an important, I don't know, podcast interviewing Jay Shetty, let's say. Okay. And Sammy comes out with she's like, Jay, I'm going to this retreat in Illinois and I want you to come with me. And he's like, bitch, what? No.
You can't
Then
even
I would
say
feel
it.
really bad because I like that's my role as a friend.
You're gonna make me pee.
I'm dead. But you know what I mean? So we
Ah.
teach each other. That's the moral of the story. There's a boomy hair in my eyelashes. Oh my God.
Okay, so tell me, you gotta tell the listeners, how do you pronounce it?
Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. I feel like I gotta practice now.
No, you got it, girl. Illinois. Like annoy. Like think like Illinois is like an annoying ass state. Or like the people from there. Oh my God, I hope no one's from Illinois listening to this. Y'all are fucking annoying.
Just breathe.
Yeah, the dark corners of my mind, I don't understand.
You I hope that you are laughing as hard as I am. I literally, my abs, I'm getting a workout. That's another fun thing. If you can laugh, and you can laugh to
Yeah.
the point where your abs contract, you're technically getting a workout. I always tell myself that. It works.
Go to a comedy show instead of the gym.
No. But
For
I was
ab
about
day.
to say yes. She almost tricked me.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
For
You know
ab
what you
day.
can do? You can go to the gym and then go to the comedy show.
That-
And then you're getting like a 2-in-1 special.
Or work out at the comedy show.
Ooh, can you imagine just sitting there like doing some squats and they're telling jokes?
Wait, they should have that.
I think that would
Like
be a
as
good
a
idea.
fitness class.
Yeah.
Like instead of like yoga or like bar or something, it would literally be like a comedic comic. Oh my god, I don't know why that word. A
It's the word
comic,
dyslexia.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is some yeah.
No, a comedian.
A comedian.
That's the word.
The fuck?
I
A
mean, a comic
comedian.
is like the pages
Yeah,
and
I was
they're
like,
all, like kind of like the Marvel before the movies came out. That's
totally.
what I think of. I never looked
No,
at
you're right.
comics,
You're
so
right. So it would be a comedian
Yeah.
telling jokes and making you laugh while you're working out.
Yeah, just don't be lifting heavy weight because that could be a little bit of a safety hazard.
Imagine like 500 pounds.
I know, and then you start laughing and you drop that shit on yourself. They're gonna be like, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
I'm suing you."
I'm gonna be like,
You can you imagine showing up to court and being like, "You made me laugh too hard and I had broke my back doing squats," or some random ass shit like
oh my
that.
god.
The judge would just be like, "Okay, this is
Just be
new."
like, whose man's is this?
But the things that we talk about, like we
Mhm.
could just go on and on. And I feel like those are the best friendships. Like the ones too where you guys can entertain yourself and you don't need TV. Like honestly, Taylor and I watched one movie and it was Moana.
It was great. And we fell
Yeah.
asleep to it. We didn't even finish it.
We didn't at all. And then we didn't even watch TV yesterday. We didn't watch TV at all
We didn't need
today.
to. We've
Yeah.
been out and about.
So
I
it's just
love that shit.
find those people that like you don't need social media, you don't need distractions, like you don't need that vice. I don't think vice is the word, but you don't need that in order to like enjoy your time together.
Totally.
Like you guys can
100%.
actually interact, do things, talk, have fun.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to live and just be.
Just be. At
Mhm.
the end of the day, who can you just be yourself with or
Mhm.
around? I always say, like, I love those people that are just good for my nervous system. Like, my
Mhm.
nervous system can just be like, ah, because I'm always like strung out in some way, shape, or form. And she's always like doing something. But it's like, when you're in your own energy and you're so relaxed and you're doing like mindful things, like whatever, like you can do it with other people. But
Yeah.
those people that just like also add to that like serenity of just like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's Sammy.
Oh, girl, that makes me so happy. That really does.
You make me so happy.
I love
So
our
it's your
friendship.
fault.
Our boyfriend's out here like, "Huh, are you guys like together?"
I know.
I always joke about that whenever we're like, "I love you." We're like, "I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you." But
Aw.
it just really goes back again to like those affirmations, Like I will never not end an audio without saying I love you to any of my friends. Like I will
I
never
love
end a
that.
phone call because at least in my mind, I'm like, one, how many times a day does somebody actually hear that? Like where they actually can feel the love through the phone or through the conversation. But two, like you just never know when it's going to be your last time to tell someone that you appreciate them or you love them and that they're light in your life. And also, it could just brighten up their day as well too. So no matter who I'm talking to, like even my clients, I'll be like, "Okay, like love you, talk to you later," like because I genuinely do have love for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just a page from my book. Just tell everyone you love them.
I love no, that's like the best advice, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because people really don't hear that enough. I
Mhm.
feel like it's not normalized enough, like
Yeah.
human beings, that's such a high vibrational energy to give
Mhm.
out, you know. You know, you know, you
And
know.
like unconditionally too. Like one of my friends actually messaged me and she asked me for a little bit of an update about what was going on with Austin. So I like kind of like gave her it and she was like, "Holy shit, Sammy, like I had no idea you were like going through this." And she sent me these paragraphs of just like support and love, which made me feel so good. And she was like, "I just want to say how proud I am of you." She was like, "From the outside looking in, looking at your social media, like she was like, I had no idea this was going on in the background, but she was like, but you're also doing an amazing job of being authentic with your feelings." Cause she was like, I could tell that you were overcoming something. She just didn't know what it was, which is, I think, a really healthy boundary. Cause I am very open with you guys about like what we go through and like, our lives. But there's certain things that it's like, no, like this is for me and this is for me alone. But hearing those words, "I'm proud of you. You're still showing up. You're still doing an amazing job." And she said, she was like, you can see how much you still want to support the other people in your life and your relationship and your friends and your clients. And she goes, and when you're going through a hard time and you still want to show up in that way, I think it's just what Taylor said. It's a fucking high vibration.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, if you are in a high vibration, you know that all feelings have a purpose, and that's exactly what they are, feelings. So you can overcome them. And I told Taylor this. I was like, just because I'm going through a little bit of a difficult time, I want you to know I want to hear about your shit. I want to hear about your life. I want the updates. I want to talk you through what you need to talk through too. And I have enough space. And I think it's really important to vocalize that as well, because I really want Taylor to know that I'm 50-50 in this friendship. And just that affirmations again of like, I have enough space for all of it, because you can.
Mhm.
And when you're running out of high vibration, you know that even if you're feeling feelings, you still can always turn back to love. And it's literally 313 right now. And you guys know I love angel numbers. So it's just an affirmation that love is the most powerful healer and vibration of all. And you can choose it no matter what you're fucking going through. And let me tell you, I've been fucking choosing it. So you can't tell me that it's not possible, because in the darkest of times, you still can. I promise you.
I love the sound of that. I love that song. She's fucking right, people. Rewind that. Hit the little back 10-second thing like 4 times and re-listen to that. Because it's true. Like, we really have so much power in this lifetime to like change anyone's mood, anyone's energy. And like, why not spit out these high vibrational feelings and lift someone up when they need help?
Yeah.
Because you know what, like, also what goes around comes around at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get it right back, all that loving feeling and all that high
Mhm.
energy. And I think just like be that person in this world
Yeah.
because it needs it right now.
I agree.
Mhm.
Well, that's going to be your guys' homework for this episode is go tell somebody that you love them. Go
Mhm.
to your best friend, send this to them and be like, "Hey, like this is you for me."
Yeah.
You know? I've actually done that where I listened to a Jay Shetty actually podcast, and it was talking about like who is that person that your flight got delayed or canceled, you're 3 a.m., you need them to come pick you up, you don't have your passport, you're screwed type
Mhm.
vibes. Who is that person you're calling that you know would show up for you? And Taylor was on that list. And I sent it to her and I was like, you are my person. Like, you're my best friend. And like, as soon as I started hearing that, I was like, yep, like Taylor, that's her, you know? And I
Mhm.
also sent it to my best friend, Maddie and Jasmine, too, because I know they would fucking do that for me,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, again, send this episode to somebody that you fucking love that maybe needs to hear that they're that person for you and they need that validation. They need that love, or even just send them a message being like, hey, I want you to know how grateful I am to have you in my life. And you doing XYZ, actually say something that they do, okay?
Mhm.
Maybe it's like Taylor, she makes me laugh, she brings me up, she reels me in when I'm going through a hard time. Actually give proof of what they do to benefit and improve your life so that they could see like, wow, this person actually pays attention to me. They actually appreciate and love me, and they're going to want to continue showing up for you in that way, but it's also going to enforce you to want to continue showing up for them as
Mhm.
well.
Oh my God. You heard the girl. So that's all we have for today. You know your
Mhm.
homework.
Mhm.
Get it done and you
Mhm.
will feel great.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So until next time, you
Mhm.
know where to find us.
Mhm.
Soul Sync SB, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify.
Mhm.
Ask dot
Good. No,
go.
that's not the
Ask dot something
it's
in
like
our bio.
yeah, it's in our bio. It's
Yeah.
a doc. That's always the hardest thing for us. For you guys, believe it or not, remembering that ask me is the hardest thing for both Taylor and
Oh my
I.
God.
Whenever we bloop out or something, it's about that. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, can we not
Yeah.
remember what we put in our bio?
I know. It's always like I have to pause for like a full second and be like, ask. Whatever. Y'all will find it.
You already know.
At Taylor Babel on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And at Sammy Roos _ on Instagram, TikTok, and all the platforms. And you guys already know it's SAMI RUESS. So make sure to go follow us because we love hearing your guys' takeaways. Like, I swear, whenever I get messages from you guys and you're like, oh my God, this episode hit this and it helped me realize this, it makes us so happy. I will screenshot it, send it to Taylor, and be like, oh,
Yeah.
said, like I will literally be like, this is how we're changing lives, so we want to hear it and we want to hear your feedback, we want to hear your wins, because like we said, we're a fucking community here. Like, we're a community and we have enough space for it all, and that's what's important.
So everyone have a great day, and we will
Mhm.
see you guys next week.
All right, we love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.